Hi, I'm Felicia. Today is Sunday, February 8th, 2026. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm just gonna put a little lip gloss on. So this is how my hair looks today. I didn't get to show it off all styled yesterday because it was all wet and I was too tired to wait for it to dry. I let it air dry. It takes forever to air dry anyway. So yeah, this is the end result. Well, anyway, I gotta go into church. I will be back in a moment.
Commandments I give you must be in your hearts. Teach them diligently to your children. Talk about them when you're at home. Talk about them when you walk along the road. Speak about them when you lie down and when you get up. All day, every day. Wherever you're going, help your child understand that we live in the presence of God. And God is able to overcome whatever problems we may encounter. He is our source of power and our instruction for how to live well, to walk in His blessing. And so we want to bless you today as these parents, bless these babies, and commit to you to support you in raising them to love God.
Well, we just finished church and they did a baby dedication today, which I thought was really sweet. It made me hopeful that next year my baby boy here can be dedicated. But it also made me a little emotional thinking about what if he isn't here next year. And that's not a thought I like to think about very often, but with his condition, with his trisomy 21 and the large hole in his heart, I am fearful. And I think that's natural, even though the odds are in his favor with, modern science and medical interventions and surgery. I think he's going to be okay. But it is a possibility that he won't be here for a baby blessing next year. And that makes me really sad, obviously, but I'm trying to be optimistic and not think like that. But it did cross my mind as they were doing that. But it was a good service today. My daughter seems like she didn't have quite as much fun as she has. They had a different person leading the group today, and I think that had something to do with it. When I came in to pick her up, she was crying, and the lady in there, I didn't even get her name, she's like, "Oh, she was doing just fine until she saw you." But that's not what it was. She was holding this toy tractor and she came up to me and was putting her little finger out and wanting me to kiss it. So what happened was she had just pinched her finger on this toy, and the lady was insinuating that it was because she saw me that she started crying, when that wasn't the case. And so that kind of rubbed me the wrong way just a little bit, that she wasn't watching and she didn't know why she was actually crying. But anyway, normally she's had fun the last couple times we've gone. Maybe not so much today, but I think I'm going to ask the other leader, who is usually there, if she thinks that my daughter would do well with the other kids, because she seemed to think she would do fine during the lesson I'm going to be going to this next week for the childcare. She thought she could be with the other kiddos, and so I think I'm gonna ask about that. I think there's a chance that she'll be okay, and it's worth trying anyway. So that's kind of something I've been thinking about, is having her integrate with the other 3-year-olds and not be in the sensory room. So, but it was a nice service today. I had a strawberry mango smoothie during it, and I think I'm going to hold off on the mango next time. It was a little strong for my liking. But anyway, now that we're done with church, I'm going to go get a few groceries, and my daughter needs some juices and snacks, and so we're gonna get a few things and then head back home. Well, I got some groceries and chicken wings for tonight to watch the Super Bowl. And yeah, I also stopped by and brought my husband lunch today. I got him a chorizo and a Dutch Brothers. Made it back home. I'm actually sitting in my office right now. It's a little bare. Well, I've got a bunch of boxes to my left here, and I have my desk right here, but it's not hooked up yet. That's something I really need to get on. Something I was just thinking about as I came home was how I would really like to be able to make some friends here. I know I've only been here a couple weeks, well, I guess a few weeks now, and I haven't made any friends yet, of course. I know it's hard. I felt a little bit lonely today at church. You know, it's the third time I've been to the church, and I sit alone, of course. I don't know anybody, but nobody really talks to me, and that's okay. I came from a smaller town, where when I went to church there, I was actually a bit overwhelmed with how kind of aggressive people were in getting to know me and trying to be friends with me. And it was almost, I get social anxiety. I am an introvert naturally. And so when I had all of these people kind of bombarding me, like before and after, and even during like the services, I felt a little overwhelmed by it. And they would, show up to my house and like, bring me gifts, and like, I don't know, it was really nice, don't get me wrong, but I don't know what I was expecting. I thought maybe they would be a little more proactive in this church, but I think it's such a big church that they don't necessarily have the means to do all of that. I haven't, been introduced to any of the pastors or anything yet. I was going to do that today after the service. Apparently they, from what I've heard, they hang around the little cafe afterward. And I was going to do that today, but when I picked up my daughter from her little special needs Bible study class and she was crying, I thought, no, we should just go, because I didn't think she was going to want to stay and be in a good mood after that. I just haven't really felt like I've had any opportunities to really make friends since I've been here in Texas, and I was hoping church would be a good way to do that. I still think it will be, but I need to be more involved with maybe some groups. I do have a group kind of class that I signed up for. I think it's about a month long, once a week, about motherhood, and so I thought that would be a really great opportunity for me to meet some other moms, and I'm hopeful I can make at least one connection or one friend from that group, because really I feel like the best way for me to make any friends is going to be with having shared interests like our children. And so if I can find a mom who's got kids, young children, or babies even, because I'm having a baby, then that would be my best chance. I've never really been somebody who's had a lot of friends at all, in fact, and so I'm really trying to get out of my comfort zone a little bit and make friends. I know I could definitely be more sociable and be the first one to say something, to approach people. I just am more reserved, I don't always know like who to trust, like who's going to be kind, who's going to be a good person. And so that's why I thought church would be a good place, because it's kind of a stereotype to say people from church are good, but a lot of them are at least trying to be. And so I thought this would be the right place for that. And I'm still gonna hold a hope. It's only been a few weeks. And like I said, I don't really linger afterward. I kind of just get my daughter and go. I wanted to linger today, but that wasn't a good option. I'm still just a little bit upset about that too. The fact that she started crying. And she hurt herself. You know, toddlers hurt themselves all the time, and that's what she was upset about. But I didn't like how when I approached, I could see through the window. She was already crying. And then they opened the door for me. And the lady was like, oh, she didn't start crying until she saw you. And I was like, no. I didn't actually correct her, but I wanted to be like, no, actually, I can see she hurt herself. And she comes over to me, like, holding her little finger out because she wants me to kiss it. Like, she clearly pinched her finger with the toy, and I don't know, it just kind of bothered me. She's never cried when she saw me. Like, that didn't make any sense for her to say that. That bugged me. It's always been hard for me to make friends, and I do know part of my thing is if somebody slights me in any way, I stand back, I get really guarded. I'm like, okay, this person isn't safe. I don't want to be friends with them. Just like that lady, like the one thing she said, I take it so personally sometimes. And so, you know, I need to be friends with somebody who's very, I don't know how to explain it, just very gracious and isn't going to say weird things to me that offend me. For next week, I'm going to try to get there extra early, like really early. And I'm going to do my best to put myself out there and talk to somebody. Even if my husband can't come next week, which I don't think he does have next Sunday off, I'm still going to try to meet with a pastor or somebody and just introduce myself and say, hey, I've been here a few times now. I really like the church. I'll have already gone to the group, motherhood group that's meeting this week. And so I'm hoping I'll feel a little bit more comfortable to just approach people. I'm hoping people approach me. I also want to try to get a better seat in church. The last couple times I've been sitting literally like way in the back, and I would like to be a bit more forward so people can see me. You know, I'll make sure my hair looks good from the back. Well, I think that's going to be it for today. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. Please subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and I'll be back tomorrow to do another video. Bye.